Hi, this is Trey Pastor. I'm going to do another reaction. This is to I Am Scary Tales. That's, I think, the website. I'll link it in the description box anyway. This is, I think, 3 scary Waterpark tales. It's animated. And so I'm going to, subscribe to this channel. So I'm going to be checking out their videos and see if I can react to them. And then this is animated, which will be the first for me to react to an animated version of it, which I think it might be even creepier than listening, although Mr. Nightmare, nobody tops Mr. Nightmare. So I'll be back to give you my reaction to this. 3 scary, I think these are Waterpark horror stories. So I'll be right back with my reaction. Okay, leave my headphones in. Okay, here we go right now. Go. Story 1.
I was 8 years old when my parents took me to Disneyland during my summer vacation. I was enthralled to see the place. The rides, the food, the kids going crazy.
Okay.
Everything about it felt like I was in paradise.
Okay.
After enjoying the theme parks, I had all the junk food I could. My mom then pointed at the gift shop, suggesting we buy some souvenirs. Everything they picked up was simple little trinkets, little keychains, fridge magnets, and other little pieces.
Okay.
I wasn't having any of it. It wasn't enough to encapsulate my feelings for the trip. After buying enough souvenirs, I rushed to take pictures with the Disney characters. My dad went on clicking as I posed with them. My eyes kept searching for Mickey, who I couldn't see at all. But then I finally spotted him. He was sitting on the bench ignoring everyone.
Oh.
I walked up to him, but he didn't seem to care.
Hey, Mickey, click a picture with me.
Not now, kid.
Why? I came all this way to meet you.
Just get lost, you piece of crap. Oh.
Hey, watch your tongue!
Before I knew it, my dad was in a fight with Mickey.
Oh, man.
I was too young to realize that.
Whoa.
The guy dressed as Mickey Mouse was probably having a bad day and wanted some time off. But being a kid, I made it worse for him.
Uh-oh.
The security came rushing and separated him from my dad.
Jesus Christ.
He was covered in dirt and his costume was messed up in places.
Oh, man.
His big Mickey head still stayed on though.
Oh, man.
Which is why I never got to see the man under that costume.
Okay.
Disneyland security insulted him for being unprofessional and behaving badly with me.
Oh.
They apologized to my parents and gave us gifts to take home.
Okay.
Let's go, Adam. This freak has learned his lesson.
Saying this, my dad grabbed my hand and we started walking away.
Uh-oh.
I turned around only once, and I saw the man in the Mickey Mouse attire standing like a statue and watching me.
Oh.
He just stood there, staring at me with those big Mickey eyes, and then suddenly waved slowly.
Oh, boy.
Like a real creepy slow hand movement.
Yep.
I don't know why my stomach dropped when he did that. Something at the back of my head told me I should have just left that guy alone in the first place. We returned home and I simply went back to being a kid at school.
Okay.
Sharing memories with other kids. Kind of flexing my Disneyland trip to them.
Okay.
It wasn't until a few weeks later, weird things started to happen. One day, I was playing in the schoolyard. I was writing my name on the dirt with a stick when my eyes noticed a tree far off in the distance. A thin black arm with a huge-sized white glove was waving at me from behind it. The immediate goosebumps made me shiver.
Oh, man.
Adam!
I turned around hearing my friend's voice, but when I looked back, which was in a fraction of a second, the hand was gone.
Of course.
I came to the rationalization that I imagined it. However, things took a dark turn really quick. One night, I woke up feeling thirsty. My room has a big glass window facing the woods.
Of course.
I was drinking from my water bottle when I saw 2 black dome-shaped ears in the top half of his white eyes staring at me from outside my window. I rubbed my eyes and they were gone the very next moment.
Nightmare.
I got up to check if anyone was out there. It was silent, except for the tall trees.
Oh, man.
I didn't see anyone.
Oh,
Ah! Mom! Dad!
I started screaming, hiding my sobbing face in my palm. My parents rushed to my room and I told them that the angry Mickey Mouse from Disneyland had followed me home.
Yeah.
He was right here, Dad. He jumped on me. I saw him at school, too. He was right here.
Honey, there's no one in your room. It was a nightmare.
Of course.
Come, let me tuck you to sleep.
Oh, boy.
From then on, I was actively scared of anything Disney. Other kids would have their Disney toys, and I would shy away.
Oh, man.
They would bring up the Disney movie they saw the night before,
Yeah.
and I would try to turn the conversation to another topic.
Of course.
I got rid of anything I had that was remotely Disney,
Jesus.
anything to ease my mind,
Yeah.
and erase the trauma I had experienced.
Jesus.
It never worked,
Oh, man.
but it helped. I was in junior high when my best friend decided to organize a Disney trip
What?
and asked me to join.
No.
I tried to deny the invitation, but he was my best friend and wouldn't take no for an answer.
Oh, please.
So there I was at Disneyland again, after 8 long years. It was odd, but every time I walked past a mascot,
Yeah.
I swear they would briefly drop what they were doing, whether they were promoting merchandise or talking to a kid, and just stare at me as I passed. They just turned their heads slowly, their novelty-sized eyes glaring at
Oh,
me,
man.
cold and dead. But I never saw Mickey Mouse though.
Oh, good.
When I came back to the hotel and thought everything was finally over,
Yeah.
I had no idea what was waiting for me.
What?
I was passed out on my bed after a couple of beers when I heard a slow knock on the door.
Oh.
Jack? Is that you?
I dragged my tipsy body to the door and opened it thinking it was my friend, but there was no one outside.
What the?
And then I peeked outside to check the long hotel lobby.
Oh.
With my blurry vision, I noticed something in the distance.
Oh.
Something was standing at the end of the lobby.
Mickey.
Jack? Why are you...
But I couldn't finish what I was saying because now I had figured out it wasn't my friend Jack standing in the lobby. It was Mickey,
Uh-oh.
standing there in his tattered costume.
Oh, boy.
It was just like my dad turned it into during the fight 8 years ago.
Oh, God.
My jaw dropped. Drops of sweat appeared on my forehead.
Oh, God.
Mickey was just glaring,
Oh.
unmoving,
Oh.
disturbing. The same way I saw him last at
Oh,
Disneyland. My heart started to race. I was too afraid to look away.
Oh, man.
He then slowly stretched his arms up like he was silently asking me to hug him.
Oh.
He tilted his head to the left, then to the right.
Oh, God.
His arms stayed up though. I couldn't take it anymore. I slammed shut the door, locked it from the inside, and ran into the bathroom.
Oh, God.
I spent my entire night wide awake in fear lying in the bathtub.
Jesus.
The next day, I boarded a flight home without telling what happened to me last night because I knew no one would believe it.
Oh, man.
Since then, I haven't seen Mickey.
Oh, boy.
And one thing I'm sure of is that, no matter what, I'm keeping my kids the hell away from Disneyland. The story you just saw is loosely based on this creepy image found on the internet.
Oh, man.
There's no information about who took this photo,
Yeah.
but one can say it's taken at Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
As you can see a guy dressed in a Mickey Mouse costume being the sole subject of this photo.
Oh, boy.
What makes this photo outright creepy is the way the guy in the costume is looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Even though he had the Mickey Mouse mask on, the stare is scary enough to give any kids, or probably any adults, a trauma for life.
Oh, yeah. Story 2.
I've never been a big fan of water, but I've always thought that water parks and pools were okay.
Okay.
Going to a pool was even fun sometimes. So, when a water park opened in my town, I resolved to go. Purchasing a ticket online, I loaded into my car wearing a skimpy swimsuit and my favorite floaties.
Of course.
I was so excited for the day. Little did I know that that would be the last time I ever felt excited while visiting a water park.
Oh, boy.
When I arrived at the park, everything went well at first. I presented my ticket to the admission and quickly found my way into the park. I got on the first ride, my favorite, the lazy river. I hopped into my tube and started to drift along the river, enjoying the sun and the cool water.
Okay.
Relaxing, I slid my sunglasses over my face and closed my eyes for a while,
So far, so good.
waiting as the river bounced me slowly in a circle. It was probably because the park had just opened up, but not too many people were in the park yet.
Okay.
I had attached a bag holding my phone, keys, and other core items to the tube, so I didn't have to worry about holding it or the phone getting wet. Suddenly, however, I felt my tube come to a halt.
Oh, boy.
Irritated, I opened my eyes and recoiled. A man stood above
Whoa.
me, his hands on my tube, and his eyes staring at me.
Jesus.
His slick back hair drew my attention to his horrifically large eyes,
boy.
his small mouth, and his strange ears. His body was voluptuous, and his skin was mottled. Hello.
Hi.
Whoa.
Could you let go of my tube? I'm trying to relax.
I like you. His voice was weird, and I could only come to the conclusion that there was something wrong with him mentally.
Yes.
Because of this, I tried to calm myself down, and instead gently instructed him to let go.
That's very sweet of you. Could you please let go?
I like you.
Oh,
He let go, however, and I drifted down the river again.
Jesus.
I shuddered looking back at him, his head swiveling as I drifted around the corner and a glint of anger in his eyes. I was so bothered by this experience that I felt like I needed a rush of adrenaline. So I headed over to the more intense slides. As I walked around, however, I noticed that this strange man seemed to follow me everywhere I went. He was always close enough that he felt intrusive, but far away enough that no one else noticed him. I started to get scared, so I decided to head out of the park. I walked out of the gates and then turned around. I saw him with his back toward me, walking back into the depths of the park. I grimaced and walked back to my car, taking the bag that I had put my phone and keys into. When I reached my car, however, I realized that there was something missing from my bag. My keys were there, but my phone was gone. With a sinking feeling in my stomach, I realized that this strange man had probably taken it when I was in the lazy river. I was unlocked, too, and I hurriedly headed back to the Lost and Found section, hoping that it would be there. To my shock, it was. I thanked the guard, hurried back to my car, and drove off. Maybe that weird man hadn't taken my phone and it had just fallen out? I reached my house and hopped out of my car as the sun was setting. I was about to walk toward my house when I saw a hulking figure several blocks away, standing still and looking in my direction. It was him. He had followed me home.
Get back in your car and get out of there.
I screamed and ran inside, locking all the doors as I frantically dialed the police. When I hit the call button, however, my phone screen flickered and it went off. I desperately tried to turn it on, but to no avail. I felt a shadow pass over my room, and I whirled toward my window. There he was, not an inch from the sill. He smiled and said something I could barely hear from inside my house. You like what I did to your phone?
Get away from me! Go away!
But I want to be with you. You're cute. He laughed and walked away from the window right to my door. I could hear a thud as he collided with the door, making it shake. I screamed and could feel my heart pounding in fear. I recoiled, backing up against the wall as I saw my door begin to grow loose on its frame. I knew that it was only a matter of seconds before the massive man managed to break down my door, and I didn't want to think about what he was going to do to me when he did.
Please, just stay away!
I'm almost with you. I'm almost inside. His voice grew excited, and I knew he had almost broken through. At that moment, however, I heard the sound of a police car siren from down the street. I heard the pounding on the door stop, and I could hear him cursing. He quickly ran away, and I heard his footsteps fade into the darkness. I ran to the door, threw it open, and ran into the street, waving my arms and yelling at the police officers, who stopped and asked me what was going on. Apparently, one of my neighbors had seen him and called the police. I was relieved, but shaken up, so I decided to never return to a water park again. To this day, I'm still scared of going near pools or lakes, as the memory of that horrific water park horror story still lingers in my mind. I don't know what kind of person that was, but I'll never forget the terror he instilled in me. I'm never going to a water park again, and I hope that I never meet someone like him again. Most importantly, however, the police never did manage to catch the man, and so far my description of him had turned up 0 results. It's just scary to think that he's still out there, and he might be watching my house, hidden and waiting.
Yep. Story 3.
When I was 18, I went to a water park with my class as part of our graduation bash.
Cool.
All of the cool seniors I knew were going, including my crush and all of my friends. Everyone traveled in packs of 3 or 4 so we could go on the rides together. My besties and I were in a group, of course. but I was secretly wishing that I had gotten in with my crush's group. I did manage to herd our groups together, though. I was glad I got to see a lot of him, but the important thing was that he also saw a lot of me. However, I didn't realize how much that would save me from the other people in the water park. It was the beginning of the summer, and the place was already packed. 99% of them were normal people, except for this one super creepy older guy. The first time I noticed him was in the line for one of those rides, where you go through the rapids with 7 other people on a giant circular raft. There were 4 open seats on our raft when he showed up behind us. He was hairy and shirtless and horribly sunburned. He had this weirdly disheveled look to him too. Also, something about his scraggly beard just looked like pubic hair. Once we made eye contact, he weaseled his way into our section.
Excuse me, girls. Could I go on the ride with you?
No.
Well, actually, we were kind of, waiting for someone else.
Really? Where are they? I don't see anyone. You're not lying to get rid of me, are you?
No, I swear. They'll be here any minute. Just, crap.
I was totally bluffing, but luckily, at the last second, my crush pulled up and saved the day.
Whoa.
Hey, what's going on here? We were the ones waiting to ride with them. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize those seats were taken. I'll wait for the next one. Go on ahead. Yeah, thanks.
We were thrilled that he showed up with his friends at the right time and got that guy to leave.
Thank you so much. That guy was so weird.
I could tell he was bothering you from a mile away.
Oh, you're so observant. Will you stay with us so he doesn't come back?
Sure, why not?
From the first interaction, I was almost glad he existed because it got me closer to my crush, especially because our groups were stuck together by choice for the rest of the day. Unfortunately, after that, I started noticing that hairy weirdo all over the water park, almost like he was following us. He got in line behind us at every single ride we went to, but not too close that we could tell him to screw off. He was super starey, though. I don't know if the boys noticed it, but all the girls could feel his eyes on us. I tried not to let him ruin my fun, but when he had the nerve to cut in front of us for one ride, I almost lost it. It was one of those solo slides that's a tube coming down from a big tower, and most of the line forms from the staircase to the top. We were already halfway up when out of nowhere, this creep rammed his way through the whole crowd of us, then looked back with the most infuriating smug facial expression. I started to shout at him, but it was my crush who held me back and told me not to make a scene.
Yeah, calm down, man.
All he wants is your attention. Don't give it to him.
You're right.
I certainly didn't mind the way that boy held me back. I completely forgot about being mad, and everyone else had to avert their eyes. Fast forward to the end of the line, and we were all watching this fat creep about to go down the slide. Of course, he just had to look back and smile at me all creepily right before going. A few moments later, when the lifeguard saw the creep come out at the bottom, he gave me the signal to go next. I started to go, but right as I pushed off, I heard my crush yelling.
Wait! Don't go yet! Stop!
But it was too late. There was nothing to grab onto to stop myself, so I had to go down. During the ride, I wondered if he was just messing with me, or if there was really a reason I shouldn't have gone down. Near the bottom, I found out. I was about to shoot out when I slammed into something. It was so dark that I couldn't see what it was at first, but it made me come to a complete stop. I immediately started feeling extremely claustrophobic from being stuck in the tube, but I realized that was the least of my worries when I heard his voice again.
Hey, girlie, you can't run away from me now.
It was that creep, and he blocked me inside the slide with him.
Oh, man.
Get away from me! Somebody help!
Oh, hush, baby doll. Just close your eyes and pretend I'm that little boyfriend of yours.
Oh, man.
Ew! No! Stop!
He started crawling toward me, grabbing my feet. I kicked at him and tried to climb back up the slide, but we were stuck at the bottom, and I kept sliding down.
I promise you'll enjoy it if you just give me a taste.
Help me!
I thought I was going to be stuck in there with him forever, but then I heard another voice coming from higher up in the slide. My crush's voice.
Look out below!
At the last second, I squirmed out of the way as he brushed past me and collided with that sicko, kicking him straight in the face with all the momentum of the slide. They shot out the exit and I crawled out after them. In the middle of a panic attack, the two of them were fighting in the water trying to drown each other. I could barely see what was happening with all the splashing, but eventually my crush won out and restrained him until security arrived.
Good man.
After all that, the sick creep got arrested, and my crush and I started dating.
Ah, isn't that nice? That was good. That was a crazy stories. Oh man. Okay, those were some good stories. Actually, animated, extra creepy because they could draw them. That last story, woof, that guy just, man, you actually did that. Get stuck in the tube so you could actually wait for her to come down. You fucking creepy son of a bitch. Thank God you had your crush there. So that kind of ended it. You know, that started out creepy, but it ended in a good way. You know, at least you got to be with your crush and stuff, and he defended you, thankfully. Oh man, but the that first story with Mickey Mouse, oh my God, his father beat up Mickey Mouse because Mickey Mouse was rude, and he beat up Mickey Mouse. And then he had terrors about Mickey Mouse, seeing Mickey Mouse everywhere and stuff. That was probably just paranoia. And so I'm sure Mickey, that same Mickey, I think he just, you know, your mind can play tricks on you. I think that's what that story was about. He was just, he had such a phobia against that Mickey Mouse. So exactly that, and then plus at the end of it, he was drinking. So probably that's his mind made him see Mickey there and stuff. Because if you saw somebody else besides you saw it, then I could believe it was real. But he kept seeing it when he was by himself and stuff. So, and I think he was just extra paranoid about what happened with his father and Mickey Mouse and stuff. So that he started being, you know, developing a phobia against Mickey Mouse and stuff. So Mickey Mouse. So I think that's the end of that story. Although that was kind of creepy with him, just, you know, that he got drunk and saw the Mickey at the hallway. That was extra creepy. Now that second story with the creepy guy at the water park. Oh my God! See, that's why again, women by themselves, you got to be careful because you're vulnerable, and like that's why I say women should be allowed to carry tasers with them, so that way if any creep gets too close, you can defend yourself by tasing, and then you hit somebody with a taser, they drop instantly. So that's why I think women should be allowed to carry tasers. But that guy followed you home. First of all, he got into your phone and screwed around with your phone. And then he followed you home. Oh my God. Why did she ran in the house? She should have got back in her car and took off. And then the guy was banging on the door trying to get in, and you just standing there screaming, telling him to go away. How about running out the back way or something? Or a window while he's banging on the door, about to break the door in. And thank God your neighbor saw, saw that creepy guy banging on the door, and it probably saved your life. And the cops, of course, obviously they still didn't catch him. But I don't know how you could stay living in that place because the guy knows where you live, and he's a creep. Okay, and they didn't catch him. So I would never be able to sleep there again. I would have to move. And again, guy is super creepy. That's why I say you have to, women, especially when you're by yourself, you're vulnerable, unfortunately. Physically. So, these creepy guys, and this, oh man, that would just creep me out. I'd have probably just left as soon as I got, but then, like I say, he took your phone and then screwed around with your phone, and then he followed you home. That's a whole nother level of sick, okay? And banging on the door, like that's why it's always good too, especially in women too. You live alone, have a dog, and I ain't talking about a little cutesy dog. I'm talking about like a dog that will be able to defend you and stuff. Exactly, that would, and dogs are loyal, okay? You get a nice, a Akita or something, or a German Shepherd, and they'll defend you. Exactly, you don't have to worry about creepy guys following you home and stuff, because that dog will alert you and take care of it. Okay, so those were three creepy they said water park stories, but the first story wasn't really about a water park. It was more about Mickey Mouse. But I guess, theme parks are water, and I'm sure there has a water park at Disneyland too. So, but that was more about Mickey creeping him out and him getting absolutely developing a phobia against Mickey Mouse and stuff, which is crazy. Trust me, if I had developed that, I would have told that dude, no, I'm not going. I don't care if he's his best friend. No. I said I'm not going. Okay. I hate Mickey Mouse, and I'm not going. I would have never went. Especially if you had such a traumatic thing. There's nothing he could have said that would made me went. I would have said nope. I ain't going. I said enjoy yourself. I'm not going. I have a phobia ever since I was a little kid. My dad beat up Mickey Mouse, and I saw that Mickey Mouse was staring at me, and now I can't stand Mickey Mouse. And I have paranoid dreams about him and stuff. I have him standing outside my window, being all creepy. Nope, I'm not going to Disneyland, okay? No, maybe I can get some therapy later, but I'm not going right now. Enjoy yourself and let him go off on his own. And like I said, that last story, thank God that Crush was there, because that guy was creepy, and he actually waited down at the end of the ride for you to come down so he can molest you. Oh my God, and thank God that, your crush happened to be there. That story, at least that story ended on a positive note and stuff. So you got the guy got arrested and you got your crush. So that's, it's not going out with your crush. So that's good. But those were 3 creepy stories, and again, the animation makes it extra creepy. Anyway, maybe I'll get more stories, react more to that story. I'll leave a link to that guy's channel. I think it's called Scary Story. Hold on, let me get the name of it right. I think it was I Am Scary Tales. That's what's called. I Am Scary Tales. I subbed to them yesterday, so I'm gonna go through their videos and see if I can pull out some, do a couple more. But those are extra creepy. Again, animation makes it extra creepy too. Okay, and those are good, especially that first story with the Mickey Mouse, and then that second story. Ooh, geez, they make people look extra creepy. Anyway, again, I'll leave a link to that channel in the description box so you can sub to him and show him some support. Also, I have links to my social media, my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Also have a link to my other channel, Bob Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. Also have a link down below to my Patreon. I want to say a special thank you to my patron. His name will appear in this video somewhere. I want to say thank you for supporting me, having my back. And again, my patron's only $5 a month. Tons of content on there, tons of unedited content on there. Everything from Marvel shows to DC shows to Star Wars shows to The Boys Season 3 to movies. Follow a link down below to check it out. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long, and take care.